Hi guys, welcome back. Before we move on with the next part of this build, the self-styled silly person Captian Xavier said some pretty sensible things about the COVID virus. I think you need to have a look at his video. I'll put a link below. Okay, now we'll go on to part 2 of the Thunderpup build. Right guys, now don't worry, this is not black and white film, it's just a black and white picture. I printed this out just so I could see the relationship of the motor to the conveyor, which sits there obviously. Funny enough, very hard to find a photo with that, the motor and the conveyor in the same picture, but never mind. So you can see it's fairly close. In fact, it's almost the right scale, but anyway, so that goes like that roughly. Okay, so I figure it's probably best to fit the motor in the same sort of orientation as they've got it there. They've got it there for a reason, probably because it's just space, but you know, it won't hurt. So what that means is, if the conveyor's there, like so, I'll just zoom out because we can all see what we're talking about. The motor needs to go like so. So that's going to clear the magazine. But if you look at it from this angle, it means I've got to get rid of this screw support, a couple of pieces here, and the actual teeth, the way they mesh. Let's see if I can position this so you can see what I'm talking about. As you can see, it's going to have to be mounted over to the side slightly, like about there. So I've got to take off a little bit here as well. But the good thing is, you can go straight through with holes and bolt it in. I can then attach this to it very easily. Get it in exactly the right spot, and I've got plenty of aluminium from other projects. So what I'm going to do is get rid of that. Oh, first thing I'm going to do actually. So what I'm going to do first is put some holes through this, maybe there, and put a long bolt through it. So when I get rid of this, the support is still there. Because all this top bit is not going to be seen, so it doesn't matter how many holes I drill in there and screw it up, it'll be fine. And this will be sort of sticking out the back, something like that. And there's plenty of room at the back of that for that to stick out. Just grind a bit out there, let it stick out, and build the butt over it. Would probably be a better idea. Okay. Funny how one thing leads to another, isn't it? Alright, I'll get on with that and get back to you. Right, back again. Now, as you guys probably know by now, I'm an idiot. Because I've been trying to get that little gear in there to mesh with that, when they don't even touch each other, because, having a close look at this photo, there's another little gear there in between them. But luckily I found it in one of my many boxes of bits and pieces, and that's great, except I've actually lost the little metal axle it comes with. But since I'm a hoarder and I never throw anything out, I've got a broken drill bit here, tiny little thing, and it fits perfectly. So put that through there, and if I just touch this to the battery box, cool bananas! We're cooking with gas, or at least stored direct current electricity. So that's going to make that a lot easier to get those to mesh, because they don't need to be that close. Now what I've done, my multitude of boxes of pre-cut aluminium that I had, I can't find, but I found this bit in a box of old parts my son left behind. So that goes like that. That roughly goes there, which means, and hopefully the next time I turn the camera on, I can actually show you this thing shooting a few darts. Alright, bye. Okay guys, let's see how clever I am. I've got the conveyor motor wired in and working, and I've got the flywheels wired in and working, and I'm trying to put 5 rounds in the magazine, but they're flying everywhere. So I've actually mounted the pusher wheel too close, pusher gear way too close, and as you can see it's going to grind a channel in itself. So I'm going to have to pull that back a bit. So I'll get back to you. I've done a little bit of what do you call it, troubleshooting, and found it works fine as long as there's no magazine in it, which is sort of defeats the purpose. But I've just noticed that I've got this twisted because this is twisted, so I'm going to have to bring that bottom screw out, and maybe that will help somewhat. Let's see how it works without a bottom attachment. Actually seems to go a bit faster. Funny, funny. Right guys, for the extremely astute of you, last time I was trying to do this, I couldn't quite get it to work. Couldn't figure out what it was, and I had a bit of a think overnight and done a little bit of research, and it's painfully obvious now that I look at it with only half the case in. This, aside from being running on the wrong cog, is way too low. It's pushing down on the foam round. It's actually got to come up. And oh, I've lost my cog. I keep forgetting about that. There it is. It's only held in there by a broken drill bit. So that sits in there like that. Now I originally had it touching like that, right, which is not a problem, you know, you can do it. It's supposed to be touching like that. If I can get that sorted, I will. But my issue at the moment is actually raising up the drive. Ah, there's the drill bit axle, good. So raising this up, and what I've done, I've drilled these holes in here just for these pins because I want to keep them. So right now I have to actually repair that. The simpler thing I'm going to do, I found an old piece of plastic, don't know where it's from, and I'm just going to stick it on the top of there, and I'm going to use my Nerf plastic glue, which is just Nerf offcuts, as I said before, mixed in acetone, and let it go soft, and it works a treat. It's a filler, it's a glue. You can use it really thin, like an ultra thin glue. I will try and remember to put the link from the young guy I found it from. He's just put up a simple little YouTube movie. And I'll just cut that bit off when it's dry, it's not a great issue. This just gives me my strength here so I can start grinding and cutting through that again. While I've been waiting for that glue to dry, I've been having a look at what else. I've been so focused on the rear end of this, I haven't really thought about other details. But I've been having a look at things, and first is I've taken the top and I've done some cuts on that, and let's see, okay, on the top it fits, you know, where it's supposed to, it fits really nicely in these slots. On the bottom I have to take a lot of these ledges out and edges and everything, but from about there to about there I'm thinking on the buttstock. Let me see if I can get this in camera for you. There we go. So from about there to there, maybe take it right up as high as I can get it. Be cut there, trimmed off there. That'll be trimmed off, and you know, somewhere a different colour, maybe just down the bottom, rubber hand grip or something. I like that. That's good. Now, as for the pistol grip, it's still going to go wherever it needs to, somewhere along here. But I can't use that. It's just impractical. So I'm probably going to, since I've already pulled this apart, I'm probably going to cut the pistol grip out of this, and if I do it right, I should be able to get it melded right up against that edge there, so it's reasonably high. Maybe cut along that line there, and so I've got a bit of plastic to work with, so I can blend it in and take it from there. So if you can imagine that like that, without the stuff sticking out at the front, somewhere around there. Oh, hang on, it'd be, yeah, it'd probably have to be about there so the finger can clear. Okay, so that's the plan for the next day or so, but really I don't want to go on with doing anything else until I've got the mechanism working and it's actually firing darts. Now, there's my little bits of scrap plastic. This is dried rock hard because this is 2 days later. I've been busy doing other stuff. So I'm going to start positioning this in there. Oh, where is it? In there like that. Slowly grinding down to get this to mesh with the proper gear, which has gone missing. Of course it has. There it is. So to mesh with that gear there, like that, how it's supposed to. Not like that. So I will start that, and I'll take some film as I go, and we'll move on. Right, part 4, take 3. Right guys, here we are back again. I'm just about to get grinding on these plastic parts just here, so this can fit in like so. It'll drop down. This stuff is rock hard now because it's been a couple of days. I've been busy doing other stuff. And I'm going to position it so that gear meets that gear, so it does the right thing. Okay, so there's my original hole there, which I've plugged. So I'm going to sort of grind down slowly, little by little, a couple of mil at a time, and put it in and test fit, and put it together and pull it apart and put it in test. You know the drill. So it's going to be a pain in the ass, but I'll get on with that and get back to you when I'm done. Bye. Right guys, now just so we're on the same page, we all know I'm an idiot, because what I did was put all this together and tried to fire foam dart through it, and I forgot to put the guide horns in. So I've just done some work. I just ground out a huge amount of plastic in there I didn't need to. I even took out the screw I didn't need to, which is a pain, but I think we're going well. Let's give this a try. I've still got to fix this in position, got to get it in the right spot. But can you see what's going to happen? Yes you can. Here we go, touching the battery box. I am pretty happy about that. That's all 10 rounds with a 1 misfire. That's pretty good. So the next thing to do is, this is just about finished. That's simply got to be fixed in place, and the button's got to be extended up here. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. I'll find a bit of metal and whack a button up there, something I just press with my hand. Right, hi guys. Now, I'm pretty sure I need to change my channel name to Andy Work, the Idiot Modder. So what I did, ground out all that channel for this plastic bar, and then promptly broke the bar. So that was pretty clever. So I found an old metal folding coat hanger, so I put that in. That'll work, but I realised I needed a stop here for the spring on this, because I want this to have a bit of spring action too. So I glued that in the wrong way. So I've just gone to the trouble making this little bit which slots in there like that. So I'll glue that in, then drill a hole through it, then I can put my spring in. So I've got my magazine release done. There we go. So you can see, you push that, the button at the back works. So, yep, there we go. I'm pretty happy. Alright, just to show you how it works inside, I've got the wrong side. Okay, pretty straightforward. I'll just put a spring just behind it there, drilled a hole in and put in a little screw, which was murder, broke 3 drill bits. And so that's got its own spring tab, so that actually helps the spring on the other side to return it. So that's pretty good, and I might put a little, make a like a thumb pad sort of thing out of putty. One thing is, it does tend to twist, so what I'm going to have to do, probably, it stops that far, I'm probably going to have to put a screw in here, just to hit that screw and act as a block, so it can't go anywhere. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with that. Clean it up, it'll look fine. Alright, so my next hurdle is this sitting in the front of this, like so. Talk to you again next time. Bye.